Join me as I dive into the record turnout in key states and see if I can uncover what really drove so many people to the polls this year. We're just days away from the election, and the buzz is palpable. One thing is clear, this year's voter turnout is shaping up to be one for the history books. As we speak, voters are flocking to the polls in unprecedented numbers, and all signs point to a record-breaking turnout. But what does this mean for the political landscape, and more importantly, what's driving this surge in voter enthusiasm? The implications are huge. A high voter turnout can mean the difference between a landslide victory and a nail-biter. It can also signal a fundamental shift in the way voters engage with the political process. As we explore the numbers behind this record turnout, we'll get a glimpse into what's driving this newfound civic engagement. One thing's for sure, this election season has been marked by intensity and passion on all sides. From heated debates to fiery social media exchanges, it's clear that this election matters to people. But beneath the surface, there are deeper trends at play. Trends that could have far-reaching consequences for years to come. Voter suppression has been a major concern in the past, with tactics like voter ID laws and gerrymandering often disenfranchising marginalized communities. Misinformation has also been a thorn in the side of democracy, spreading false narratives and confusing voters. And let's not forget accessibility issues, which can make it impossible for people with disabilities to cast their ballots. Despite these challenges, voters have been finding ways to overcome them. We've seen grassroots campaigns spring up across the country, mobilizing communities and getting out the vote. Changes in voting laws have also expanded access to the ballot box, making it easier for people to participate. But one of the most significant factors driving this record turnout has to be social media. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram have become virtual rallying points for voters, allowing them to connect with others, share information, and get mobilized. Of course, there are also the perennial get-out-the-vote efforts, from door-to-door canvassing to voter registration drives. And let's not forget the role of local organizations, community groups, and faith-based organizations, which have been working tirelessly to get people to the polls. As we look at the numbers, it's clear that this is a multifaceted phenomenon. There's no single explanation for why voters are turning out in droves, but rather a complex interplay of factors. One thing that's certain, however, is that this record turnout is a testament to the power of democracy. When we, as citizens, come together to exercise our fundamental right to vote, we're sending a clear message to our leaders, we're paying attention, and we demand to be heard. The big question, of course, is what drove this surge in voter turnout? Was it a reaction against the status quo, or a show of support for a particular candidate or cause? As we delve deeper into the data, we'll get a clearer picture of what's driving this phenomenon. As we explore the numbers, we'll see that this record turnout is about more than just politics, it's about the very fabric of our democracy. It's about the notion that every voice matters, and that every vote counts. The excitement is palpable as we wait for the results to come in. Will this record turnout translate into a seismic shift in the political landscape? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this election season has been unlike any other. The moment of truth arrived when the turnout numbers surpassed previous records. The reaction was immediate and electric, with voters and election officials alike expressing shock and jubilation. As the news spread like wildfire, social media lit up with messages of congratulations and celebration. Voters who had worked tirelessly to get out the vote were vindicated, knowing that their efforts had paid off. Election officials, meanwhile, were left scrambling to process the sheer volume of ballots. It was a logistical nightmare, but one that they were happy to face. As the dust settles, we're left to ponder the implications of this record turnout. What does it mean for the future of democracy in our country? Will this newly minted enthusiasm translate into long-term civic engagement? The answer, of course, remains to be seen. But one thing's certain, this election season has shown us that democracy is alive and well. When we come together to exercise our right to vote, we're sending a powerful message to our leaders: we care, we're paying attention, and we demand to be heard. So what do you think drove this record turnout? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out my previous video on voting rights for more insight into this critical issue.